I want to come back to Australia and talk about how many of the responses to what happened in the US included the sentiment that thankfully it could never happen here. I found this extraordinary. In the Australian newspaper, for instance, national security expert Alan Dupont wrote, "The lesson for Australia is that America's democratic deficit is ours too. Our democracy sprang from the same classical and Enlightenment philosophers who profoundly influenced the authors of the US Constitution. And we suffer many of the same afflictions, although mob violence has thankfully not yet scarred the offices of our elected representatives or the halls of Parliament House." Say what? Violence has not yet scarred the halls of Parliament House? And this from the New Daily's political editor, Josh Butler. Still amazed that people just walked into the US Senate. I'm trying to picture a similar thing happening in Australia's Parliament House. There's, I think, at least 6 large, heavy doors which are locked, can be easily locked between the front door and the chambers. Yeah, Josh, lucky we have those large, heavy doors, hey? Former ABC journalist Mike Carlton tweeted, "We would not see in Canberra what we have seen today in Washington, DC. We are not like that. But make no mistake, the Murdoch media is a threat to Australian democracy, just as it is in the United States." Wow, how often can this bloke be so badly wrong? Does anybody else remember this?
It said it would govern for all of us, but it hates workers. It hates students.
Arrests abounded. There were more than 30 injuries on both sides and a damage bill in the hundreds of thousands of dollars run up before the demonstrators were forced back.
Yes, of course, it has happened here. It was a leftist protest railing against the new Howard government in 1996 and trying to stop it doing what it was elected to do.
Federal Parliament stormed and scores arrested in a violent rejection of tomorrow's drastic Howard budget.
It's a very sad and unhappy day in the life of the Australian Parliament.
Parliament's imposing outer doors proved as flimsy as a curtain. Security staff and police rushed to shore up the inner doors. The mosh pit protest became an organised assault. Despite the human wall, the main doors proved porous too.
What a disgraceful and frightening day that was. And so many in the media, and conveniently all the leftist media, had a collective bout of amnesia about it this month. But Gerard Henderson noted in The Australian that fortunately the Australian Federal Police was better equipped to repel rioters in 1996 than was the case with the Capitol Police in 2021 in Washington. And have a listen to this, will you? Just an echo down the years, because it seems that 25 years ago they used the same old line to make excuses for leftist protesters.
The majority arrived with peaceful intentions.
The majority are peaceful. Every anti-conservative protest is peaceful, of course, until it turns violent.